we have our fetal monitor here. Then as you can see po, bukas na po siya because chinek namin po earlier. Then kung magtanggap nyo lang po, dapat po nakasil po siya. Then kung bubuksan po natin, dahil bubuksan natin yung dalawang box, then makikita po natin dito may plastic po tayo na nakalabas na dapat po nasa loob na naka-cover siya sa fetal monitor. So ngayon po babawan na lang po muna natin siya. Then pagbukas po natin is kailangan po natin tanggalin yung styrofoam para makita po natin yung fetal monitor. Then dito po yung manual po niya, hugutin lang po natin. Kasama na din po dito ang accessories. So here are accessories box. So first we have our manual. Then we have our 3-in-1 probe, which consists of toco, ultrasound, and marker. Then we have our maternity belt. We have our power connector and power adapter. We have our ultrasound gel, and we have our thermal paper for printing. Remove our fetal monitor from the box. Kailangan po natin siyang i-lay down na dapat nakababa po siya. Then tanggalin po natin yung mga nakaharang. Then dahan-dahanin po natin siyang hilahin para po pag binaba po siya is naka-perspective po siya sa ground. So to power up our device, we need to connect this power connector into our power adapter. Connecting the wire in the adapter, we need to connect it into the port placed at the back of the fetal monitor. Just place it there. Then we need to connect the AC wire into the power source, but we already charged it earlier, so we don't need to connect it for now. So we will remove this connection for this instance. And now we're going to connect our 3-in-1 probe. Here, as you can see, we have the red connection, gray connection for FRH2. Then we have to connect this wire into the red. Please align the pattern into the connector. Then you will hear a click, meaning that it is already connected. So para ma-turn on natin yung fetal monitor, kailangan natin i-press itong power button. So long press. Then iilaw siya doon, meaning nakabukas na siya. Then may indicator dito which is for power and charge. So lalabas yung charge kapag naka-charge yung device. Dalawa yan magkukulay green. So first we will discuss what's the button here. So first meron tayong decrease volume and increase volume. We have our toco reset. We have our print. We have our patient information. We have our baby wake.
So this is the manual key marker and the manual button.
So we have a button knob here to control for the screen. So next we are going to discuss our screen. So our screen can be angled at different angle, but the maximum angle that we can change it is 90 degrees. So what we need to do is press this button, and this will allow the angle to be changed. And dito pala sa gilid is may lagayan ng mga probes. For example, this marker, meron siya dyan. Then we have also this toco. We can place it also here. Yan, dyan siya pwede ilagay. Katulad nitong sa ultrasound, pwede din ilagay siya dyan. Then we have our alarm. This will be our alarm. Then we have the first graph is our fetal heart rate, and the second graph is our uterine contraction. So first, we're going to discuss the silence button. So here we have our silence button. As you can see, when pressing this silence button, we can see an indicator above, meaning that we have a silence in silent mode, but the time limit for silent mode is only 1 minute. So after 1 minute, it will turn off the silent mode, and we need to manually turn it on to bring it to silent again. Then we have our next menu, which would be toggle screen. So by pressing toggle screen, here we have to press here, pressing toggle screen, which change the screen into a parameter screen. Then by clicking the toggle screen again, we can change the screen into waveform screen. Then next we have our sound channel. So by pressing sound channel, we can change the alarm button, the alarm for our fetal monitor. We can change it from HR1 to HR2, if HR2, then by pressing, so I will press it now. As you can see here, the sound channel change. Then next we have our manage material here. When we press the manage material, then lalabas yung iba't ibang mga parameters na pwede natin ilagay. For example, yung bed number ng user, the ID number, the name, and the weeks of the fetal, or the days, and the parity. So next we have our Toco baseline. So here, if we press our Toco baseline, this should be set at 0, but for some instance it is showing 1, so I'm going to move the probe. So as of now, we don't have any readings at Toco, but we can manually change it or set it, the base Toco, from 5, 10, 15, and 20. So when we press again, it will change back to 0. Then we have our print speed. So when we click this print speed, this will allow us to change the speed in the printing. As you can see, it changed here. Dati siyang 1403, ngayon 1416. Then kapag pinindot pa ulit natin siya, naka-maximum na siya. Yan. So here we have our review data. So review data is one of the most important menu button in our screen because we can review our data collected. So by pressing review data, we will be prompted into different screen. So different screen meaning that we will go back to our gather data. Then we can change the selected page. Then we can change the number manually. So we are going to press clear. Okay, then go back, enter. Then we can change the speed from previous speed. We can change it from 1 centimeters per minute, or 2 centimeters per minute, or 3 centimeters per minute. We can also go back to our previous page and go next to our next page. If we gather a long data, we can use this previous page and next page. Then we can also press the review score, meaning that we will be given this parameter and we can give a diagnose from this. Then by pressing back, we will return to our main monitor. And at the top of our interface, we can see the name of our user first. The name was E. It was just placed there. Then we have our bed number. We have our time used. Then here we have different indicators. First is the printing indicator. This one, yan. This one will remove the X if we have the printing process. Then we have a Wi-Fi connection. Then we have the battery percentage. Then we have the time. So again, here we are in the blue region. We have the data. This will be the waveform output. Then dito lalabas yung data. So ang minimum natin is from 110 to 160. So above from that, mag-alarm yung fetal monitor after 10 seconds. So makikita natin siya dito. So here we have the main setup. Here at the lower right of our screen, we need to press it. So by pressing it, it will show different defaults of our device. So first, when we click this manage maternal, we can change here the bed number, the ID. So I won't move this one. So next we have our fetal parameter. We have our trace offset, FM mode, FM trace, FM threshold, and toko reset. So I will go back. Then we have our alarm parameters. So alarm switch, if FHR high alarm is 160 BPM, then for our low is 110. So for our alarm delay, it is default set in 10 seconds. Then the alarm volume is 2. You can change this one if you want. Then we have our silence duration. It can increase the silence duration up to 3 minutes. But the default time for silence duration is 3 minutes. Then we will go back. Then we have our network. Here we can see our Wi-Fi list. So we can connect to this one. Then we have our printing option. We have the print speed, which is the default would be 2 centimeters per minute. The print score is also changeable. We can change it from table or table plus score. So let's go back. And the print density is 5. The print duration is off. So these are the different parameters that you can change in the thermal print. So we can go, now we go back. Then we have the score. We have the Fisher, the Krebs, and the score mode is auto for the default. Then exit, back. Then we have our date and time. You can change the year, the month, the day, the hour, the minute, and the second. You can also change the date format. We have our display. We have our standard interface. We can change it to big numbers if you want, but as a default we need to have a standard. Then we have mode monitoring. We can change the mode into demo. We can show the speed to 3 cm as the maximum. We have the brightness. We can change the brightness from 0 to 5. Then the color, if you want for different waveform. Then we have the report export. We have the bin and the PDF export. So this function will only be allowed if there is a USB port connected. USB connected. Then we have the system. We can change the language into our specific language. So we won't change this one. Then monitoring time, the power off, the factory reset, and the version info. So we'll go back. The maintenance. So this maintenance can be only used for the service. Then that's all for our main setup. So we also have our printer. So here is our printer. So an alarm will be raised if there's any movement in the device. So first, we have the thermal paper which will be used for our printing. Dito yan. So, kailangan nakasi yung pagkakalagay niya. Ayan, ganyan. Then, kailangan white sheet yun nasa ibabaw. Dito, pag nakita mo to dapat white sheet siya. Then, dapat nandito yung graph kasi dito siya ipiprint. So, dapat pagpapasok natin siya nakaganon. Yan, mag-click lang siya. Ibig sabihin, nakapasok na siya. Then, to turn off our device, we need to press the power off button for almost 3 seconds, 3 to 4 seconds, then it will turn off the fetal monitor. Then just press this one, then click. Then that's all. Thank you.